Hey all, here are OS Reviews. Today we're taking a first look at Divoom's Pixoo SlingBag. The company Divoom specializes in making pixel art display products. Well, now they're putting the same technology into a bag. So it's a matrix of LED lights that you can program with different colors and animations as you are moving around, and looks pretty cool in the dark. Now, it's not the first time that we've seen kind of an LED matrix display on a wearable. We have seen it in backpacks in the past, and Divoom has even made their own LED backpack, which has a larger canvas to display different animations. This thing is smaller, it's also going to be cheaper, and perhaps better if you are trying to carry less things with you as you are traveling in the city. For example, just a small maybe passport, some cards, your phone, and maybe your wallet. Anyways, inside of this cardboard box, we have just the mini sling backpack, and it's made out of this nylon material, which is slightly splash resistant. So if some water or rain falls on it, it will still protect it from getting wet. We have a few accents on the side from Divoom, although this doesn't really do anything. It's not a power key, and we'll talk about later on in this video about how it draws power. But we also have some yellow accents on the sides. Overall, it looks like it's built pretty well. And here's what it looks like on the rear. There is a strap that you can pull on to wear over your shoulders or on your waist, so it can have two different positions and also be used as just kind of a handbag by holding it like this. There is a front compartment here, and this is where you can see it has a USB cable because it actually requires you to draw power from a source, like a power bank. It doesn't come with a built-in battery of its own in order to make it less heavy, but it does mean that if you want to use the display function, you have to supply your own. It does add a bit of weight, but the design here is quite similar to the LED backlit backpack. The full-size one that we saw earlier uses the same concept. So we can plug it into any standard power bank and put the power bank into this compartment, as well as our smartphone here, and you can see the display here will instantly turn on. It does mean, though, that there is no kind of dedicated power on and off key that you have on the backpack. The only way to turn it completely off is to unhook the USB tip from your power bank. So that is one thing I wish they could improve on, maybe adding a power on and off switch, and maybe some type of small built-in battery would be nice, but it is what it is. Otherwise, it works exactly in the same way as any other Divoom speaker box or display that we've seen in terms of how it cycles through all the animations and can connect to your app to change the animation or create your own patterns, and even use it for playing back a few games that you can interact with. We'll talk about that later on in this video. We have a second one which is closer to kind of your body that contains more pockets for keeping other information and documents, things like maybe your wallet, cash, and even things like a credit card, pens, things like that. It has more compartments inside that gives you a lot of flexibility, and there's even a keychain hook on the inside as well. And then again, on the very back, there is one extra pocket that's inside. You can maybe keep additional things like documents, and there's even a separate divider between the two parts. So for something so small, there's actually plenty of pockets for storing different things. Everything in terms of the zipper action feels pretty smooth, and you can see the seal here is also quite tight, prevents kind of water or liquid from seeping in. So the fit and finish of the fabric and design is actually surprisingly good for the manufacturing. Taking a closer look at the companion app next, it's simply called Divoom, and it's the same one that's used for all of their other products. So it already has a pretty good collection of different customization as well as other interfaces that folks have created in the community. And anyways, on the main home face, we're able to do things like create a design, which is static, or an animation, which is moving. And I can send over something custom to the backpack. So for example, hi, I can write here, and you can see it will be pushed over to that pixel display. It has kind of a retro style to it because of the kind of 8-bit way that you are able to draw and doodle. It's not completely smooth, but makes it look a bit more interesting. I can also use it as kind of a bulletin board where it will cycle through the characters in this rainbow pattern, as you can see there, hello world. So it makes it look better than just a plain text. You're also able to do things like adjust the size of the text, as well as add different effects, animations as it is passing along. As you can see there, a fire or a flame, and just has plenty of kind of custom ways to tweak it. There's even things like a mixer, which is basically a way to use the display to play around with music. So for example, I can bring up a keyboard, and as I'm tapping along different keys, you'll see how they're visualized on the display. So the amount of features that you can use the app with has just been growing over the past few months, and you can just find so many things to do and try out, including setting up alarms, which when the time hits, of course, it will give you an animation and try to flash to wake you or get your notification. And then other things including games, as aforementioned, you have the ability to play back on here, such as, say, Pixoo Slot, Pixoo Dice, allows you to roll a dice randomly and it will just stop. So you can use it if you don't have a dice with you. Magic 8 can answer your questions. And then Pixoo Slot is basically like a casino slot machine. So you can tap on stop basically to stop the movement of one side, and then stop again on the other side to see if you can get a match and then get more points. Everything, including stopwatches and timers, are also kind of visualized on the display, shows you more details as you're playing around with this mini app. Here is a kind of a sound meter, so basically it's telling you how loud your surroundings are in terms of decibels, and kind of change things like the way that the time is being visualized and displayed in different formats, analog and digital. I can even change what's being displayed on the widgets, change it to just one color as far as a kind of mood light or something like that. Turn it on and turn it off can be actually done on the app here, which is pretty neat. And I can also go to things like other cloud channels, which will play different effects depending on the time of the day automatically. Other visualizations that you can also play around with have also been kind of just mapped here, messages and different signs and symbols. Finally, the middle icon is where you can find the community options of animations that other users have created and shared that you can basically tap on to download and save and send over to the display, which is pretty fun to play around with. Many of these are holiday themed, like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. You can find something basically for every occasion that you can expect, and also animations which look pretty dazzling from afar. Alright, so that's more or less it as far as our quick hands-on look at Divoom's new Pixoo SlingBag. Again, another product in their growing catalog of various objects which have a pixel art display built on in, and this is just a very cool kind of accessory, I would say. It's not really a must-have gadget, of course, but it's just a very cool idea and does add a bit more fun to this backpack that you're carrying with you. So thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. That's been the Pixoo Sling Bag.